Alright, you guys, so here's a video about blood python care. Alright, so what are you holding right now, Dan?
This right here is a female pollen, red-headed pollen, blood python.
She's absolutely beautiful. So what temperature are you keeping your hot spot on your blood pythons?
My blood's hot spot is 83, man. Sometimes it hits 84 for whatever reason. Just, heat tape fluctuates and whatnot. But it doesn't go above 84. Their cool spot's about 75.
So a bit lower with these guys than like a ball python or something like that.
Yeah, you hear python, you think hot, and that's what I think gave these guys such a bad reputation. People were keeping them like they were keeping them in the same racks as their ball pythons.
And it was making them angry because they're so hot.
Exactly, man. Same as summertime comes, and then we're all upset, Cool them down some. That's all they need. They digest fine. Some people do just like a ambient temp, like 83-degree room, 82-degree room. No hot spot.
And that works good for them too, right?
That does. That works perfect. It doesn't need to be a hot and cool end. It could just be ambient, one ball away.
So with bloods, they need a bit higher humidity, right?
They do, but you also got to make sure it's high ventilation.
Because you don't want to cause bacteria, right?
Yeah, if you don't have the proper ventilation, moisture is going to exactly create bacteria. So you got to proper ventilation, and then changing the substrate, man. Like cleanliness is next to godliness with anything, especially with something that you're keeping enclosed. So if you keep changing the substrate, it's going to keep the bacteria from being able to establish itself in any kind of crazy manner.
So you keep it a bit damp but clean.
Yup. I do paper with like a handful or two of cypress on it, just for the hold a little extra moisture in there. Nice size water bowl. The water bowl is about a 7x7 inch cube. And then every morning I mist them. Every morning I do hot water in a mist bottle, and I don't spray the snake at all. I spray the back end of the tub over to around the heat tape, and then I spray the front end of the tub with hot water. You got to think, when you mist hot water, the air temp's going to cool down very, very quickly. I mean, like, the water droplets are so small. And then when they land on the surface, they also cool down right away. I just feel like the heat aspect is going to add just a little bit of a bump up in the humidity to start the day. And I have no problems with shedding. I don't do a soak when I see them in shed. And these guys, I never see them in their water bowls before they go in a shed. I never see them in their water bowls at all. But I think it's because they're not seeking out the humidity, because I'm making it happen for them.
For sure. So if you were to recommend enclosures for these guys, what would you recommend?
So, tubs are great because they are easy to clean when they do pee. They pee, it's a strong smell, and like, you got it. If any animal goes to the bathroom, you obviously got to clean it. But these guys, you don't want them in there with that strong ammonia smell. I mean, it is very strong. They're on the opposite end of my snake room, and I can smell when a blood peed as soon as I walk in the garage. So it's the tubs make it easy, but then full size tubs, I don't think it's gonna cut it. In a rack system anyway. You could get like a Christmas tree storage box tub that might be close to big enough. I'm going to be experimenting with some things because I have two adults, and one's in a 4-foot vision. He's a male. He's on the smaller end, and he's not fully grown yet. And then I have a female in a big Christmas tree tub. But soon she's going to need an upgrade, and I think I'm going to experiment just with some plywood ideas, honestly. They don't move much, but you still want to give the snake enough room to stretch itself out if it wants to. I feel that way anyway.
So what do you think about the bad reputation that these guys have?
I think it's bogus, man. Look, I mean, I've been holding this snake the whole time. She's nothing but cruising. I haven't even been looking down at her like that. Like, I'm zero worry about it. I think what happens is all baby snakes bite. My little baby corn snakes bite when they hatch, but it doesn't break the skin, and there's no power behind it. These guys are born little, but like, they're thick, and they do have a little bit of power, and like, they'll even like kind of leap off the ground when they strike, like little springs. I think people get scared, and then the snake gets fed and it's growing, and you're still scared of it, and then now it's this size and it's still acting the same because you haven't changed the behavior. any animal just needs behavioral training. You know what I mean? So you get a routine with them. You earn their trust. You let them know that like I'm not here to hurt you. There's no reason to react anyway. And then you're all good. I do have one that's real jumpy, and she came to me that way, and I think it's because she was. I think the breeder didn't put much time into it. Just kind of feeding her in the tub and just wasn't handled much. She's doing a lot better. But then the main thing is staying committed to your movement. If you go to pick them up, you gotta just pick them up. Because if they go to because sometimes you'll go to pick them up and they'll turn their head just to look at your hand. Same as if someone grabs your shoulder, you turn like who's grabbing my shoulder. It's no different. But then you get scared and you pull away, and then now the snake's and then you go to reach back for it, and it still looks at you again, and then you're like jumping at it. And then it's like, why is this thing jumping at me? You know?
You got to build the trust.
Exactly. So you just when they look at you, you still just slowly pick them up. I'm big on baby talk. It's okay. Soft voices, because that's good vibes, man. Nobody's giving bad vibes if they're talking softly. Or maybe, I don't know, trying to lure you in. But yeah, just baby talk them. They can sense all that stuff, man. They can sense way more than we can sense. Same as when we can sense certain things too. If someone approaches you and they seem off, you say man, that guy was giving off bad vibes. If you're scared to pick one of these guys up, they're gonna feel the same way. Like this big monkey person, that's all we are, giant monkeys to them. They don't know that who we are. They think this guy's acting sketchy, he's nervous to pick me up because he's nervous about what he's gonna do to me when he picks me up. Or you don't know what they think. I don't know what they think. It's all stuff that I just think we gotta listen to the animal and dig a little
understanding,
deeper.
Right?
Yeah, because I don't think they're as senseless and brainless as everyone likes to think. They know what's going on, man.
I've heard with these guys too, since they're so ground dwelling, that they actually just are uncomfortable naturally just being held in the air.
They are. They don't like being up high. Their heads will go straight down, man. It's kind of annoying sometimes going to feed them into the 4-foot PVC cage because you're trying to thread a needle and they're just zooming straight down they don't want to be held up. And if you do hold them up, it's important to support their body. All that organs, it's real heavy organ, and it's just all spread out. And if you got it just all hanging, they're gonna feel uncomfortable, which is another thing that'll get them squirming. Then you act weird, and then you get bit, and then bad experience for everybody. Support their whole body, and yeah, zero issues, man.
So they are a really heavy-bodied snake. How do you go about feeding these guys?
I just feed them with tongs.
I mean, how often and what?
So I feed them with tongs every. I don't know why I repeated that part. Just I feed them with tongs, and that's something that you need to know. But no, I feed them with tongs every 2 weeks at this size. And then as they get older, like my adults, I feed them every 3 weeks, sometimes a month, depending. If I do a bigger rat, it's a month. They're not very active, and their metabolism's slow, and they'll get obese very quick. And then once something's obese, especially something that's not active, it's hard to get them to lose that weight. So same as us. People get big and it's hard for them to lose weight. Imagine these guys who don't want to move, and you can't put a snake on a treadmill. It would just roll right off the back, I can promise you. Especially this girl. So you just keep the weight monitored, then you're all good. You also got to remember, not all hunts are successful. These guys might you might strike at a mouse or a rat, and it jumps away from you, and you're not going to chase it down. It's going to be out of there in the wild. It's not trapped in the enclosure with you. So in the wild, I've heard ball pythons have been monitored only eating 9 meals a year, if that, sometimes less, because I said, not all hunts can be a successful hunt. So you got to keep that in mind also.
Yeah, so especially an ambush hunter like blood pythons are, they might be waiting a really long time for a meal.
A very long time. And it's exactly, something's got to, obviously they'll pick a trail, and they'll pick a nice scent trail. Well, that doesn't mean that there's not another blood python up 100 yards away on that same scent trail who's already picked off a couple other rats. So yeah, no, you never know. You never know.
So don't overfeed these guys.
Exactly.
That they don't move a whole lot.
Nope,
right?
Not at all, man. I'd like to give them some more space when the bigger ones I have, just because they are just a bigger snake. But I don't think they're going to utilize it They will, but they're not going to utilize it often. It's not going to be a daily thing. I think they'll utilize it every so often.
For sure.
But it'd be nice to just have it as an option.
So if anyone's thinking about getting into blood pythons, what would you tell them?
Make sure you're committed. You don't want to have something, like I said, they're going to grow quick. And then if you're not committed and you're scared of snakes, now you got a big snake that you're going to have a hard time rehoming, because then no one wants to get bit by a big mean snake. Just make sure you're committed. But if you stay with it and just like spend the time with the snake, then like you can have a very cool pet that a lot of people are going to look at you in a different light about. Like, man, like, you got a blood python? That's awesome, because a lot of people do. Like, they get scared of them. And then you can prove them wrong. Like, oh, look at this puppy dog. And then change someone's mind. These guys, I feel like, are looked at, even in the reptile community, as the rest of the world looks at all snakes. Like, they're feared, and really for no reason.
That's my favorite type of snake, so I really relate to you about that, is the ones that people think are so bad, but you can show them, like, this snake is not that bad.
Yeah, man. Nope, not at all.
For sure. Yeah, they're absolutely a beautiful animal, guys. So don't let that stop you from getting them. Just make sure you do your research first.
Don't fall for the hype, man. It's all hype. And if you do get bit, I mean, once you get bit by a snake, you realize, like, oh, really, it's not even that bad. And something like, you gotta just be prepared when they are little. You might get bit a few times, and it's just not a big deal. Because it's only until the snake gains the comfortability with you and you build that bond, and then all that stuff's out the window. You just gotta, don't quit for the miracle happens, and that's a saying that people use a lot for a lot of different things.
So would you tell someone that's getting into it, just don't give up?
Exactly, don't give up. And I say do it, man. I think more people should have these, because, I mean, dude, they're just like little puppy dogs. They get big. They can get like over 6 feet, like 30 pounds, man. Like, that's an impressive snake. And yeah, very impressive snake. She wasn't bitey so much. She snapped. If you check out a tour video Kyle shot like a year ago at my place, she snapped at the camera. She was a little nervous as a baby. And I put the time in, and as you see, this whole time she's just been chilling.
Yeah, for sure. I'll link that video in the description. Yeah, so blood pythons, you guys, absolutely a beautiful snake. Big time underrated, but one of the most beautiful snakes in my opinion.
Yup, don't fall for the hype. Lots of colors out there. They get prettier as they get older. She was like a brown when she was young, and she should be a very dark red as she gets older. So that just makes it awesome too. Just adds to the experience. So nope, I say if you want a blood python, go for it. Face your fears, bust the myth, whatever you want to call it, and go for it, man.
Yeah, for sure. So that wraps up our blood python video, you guys. Definitely check out Dan from Shac Scales. His links are in the description. And check out our partner Reptiles. Their link is in the description. And you guys have a wonderful day.